got ping pong because grandma might throw her hip out. They got knitting. They got bingo, crochet.
All of that.
Right? You come on, man. Stop. Take the time out. But see, the problem was they learned from our example. Because they learned that at 5, you kicked them out the house to go be raised by someone else. And then when they came home, the TV raised them. Or the tablet. Or they just sat in their room. So they were like, well, damn, that's what I was taught. I'm going to just do what I was taught. So now the days are shortened. Read on.
But the years of the wicked shall be shortened.
Exodus 20 and verse 12. What does the law teach us? The law teaches us how to prolong our days. We got to realize that our children are our lifeline in our old age. Not Social Security.
Raise them right.
If you raise them in the wisdom, it ain't Social Security. When y'all looking towards Social Security when y'all hit 65, like, dude, I can't wait for that check to kick in. And then what does the government do? Snatch it.
My security gonna be their house.
Right. I would listen. I hope that when I get old and can't move and my eyes dim and the muscles start breaking and aching, that my son is like, okay, Dad, you sat there with me for years, and you took care of me. You wiped my butt. Help me out. Yeah. I'm gonna help you out, Daddy. Right? That's the hope.
Well, my parents, I told them, listen, man, when y'all get old, y'all gonna be in my house doing chores, man. But y'all gonna be in my house.
Yeah, at least
y'all gonna be in my spot.
Yeah, at least wash the sink out.
Yeah.
Right?
Keep y'all moving.
Yeah. But why? Why is that important? Because now the transferring of well, if they had the wisdom,
right? That
transferring of wisdom, that trickle down of wisdom never would stop.
Right.
It would always be there and accessible for what? Your children and their children. And that's how you get the generations and the generations. Wake up, Noah. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 12.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 12.
Go ahead.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
This is what the law teaches us, to honor our father and mother. Go ahead.
That thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
But you know why your parents, you know why your kids hate you? You know why they don't honor us? Because we hate them. We show it in the lack of care that we give towards them. We're cruel towards our children. We're cruel because we don't want to administer the wisdom. That's cruel as hell, man. They don't honor us because we really don't honor them.
They feel it.
And they know it. They like, why are you making me grow up in this crooked ass world? Why are you subjecting me to this crookedness, to this filth? Why didn't you teach me something to get out of this problem that I'm having? Why is it that when I come to you with a question, you shove a damn video game in front of me and that's going to make it okay? Kids ain't stupid. They know when you're blowing them off. They know when you're blowing them off. It's our jobs, man. Go to Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 3. Finish where you at.
That was into it.
Okay. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 3.
This is what we were supposed to teach our children. Read.
Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins.
Go ahead.
And he that honoreth his mother is as one that laid up treasure.
Right. The honor came, the atonement of the sins and the treasure came when we honored our parents. But what is it? It's disrespect. You watch videos, you got little 5-year-olds smacking the hell out their mama. You got them in the store. Mom tells them, no, you can't have a piece of candy. What does he do? Flips back, got demons on him, starts back flipping through the store, punching her in the face, kicking her, calling her B words and F you.
Backflip kick.
That's a sinful ass child, man. Because why? There was no fear, no discipline instilled. Read on.
God, verse 5.
Watch this.
Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children.
Yeah. Some of you parents better watch out. Did you honor your father and mother? What's your kids going to turn out to be? And what is their kids going to be if they don't honor you? Read on.
God, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard.
Right. This is how we got our prayers heard. Through the honoring of our parents, our mother and father. Read verse 6.
He that honoreth his father
Oh, here it goes again.
shall have a long life.
Now you see why cats getting cut off early. These little young bucks out there. Oh, but little Muhammad was so young. He was such a good child. Was he?
Right.
Did he honor his mom? Did he honor his father? Or was he just a niglet out in the
He
streets?
was known to backtalk a lot.
He was known to back talks, drug deal, and bust guns.
Right.
Why was he cut off so early? Where was the honor? Go ahead.
And he that is obedient unto the Lord,
To who?
obedient unto the Lord,
Read.
shall be a comfort to his mother.
Yeah, but a lot of these cats, what do they do to their mom? They abandon them. They kick them out. They don't deal with them. I hate my mom. Why though? Because mom's left dad, got with some other old donut head that beat her, beat the kids that wasn't his, beat them up, abused them. So the first thing you do is run. I'm gonna leave her on her own. I'm gonna let her deal with that. Or what? Mom's always picking some dude over me, picking some dude over her son. Some old garbage Negro that does what? All he do is spend the rent check on drugs and alcohol. He don't work. We play more video games than the kids does. He eat up all the food, drink up all the Kool-Aid, right? Leave a little smidge in the bottom.
Right.
No consideration. Read verse 12.
Verse 12. My son, help thy father in his age.
Why would your son help you in your age if you didn't teach him? Why would he help you in your age if you didn't help him in his age? His young age, you were like, I'm gonna let somebody else help you. I'm too busy. So guess what he's gonna do when you're old and he's of age? He's gonna say, guess what, Dad, Mama, I'm too busy. Let Shady Grove nursing home take care of you. I'll come see you on holidays and weekends. I'm gonna treat you like the Army Reserves. I'll come see you every other weekend and holidays. And you in the nursing home mad as hell, got bed sores, you shrinking and anorexic because you ain't eating. And who do you blame? Who you mad at? Your kids. Like, these little niggas never come to see me. All he's doing is repaying the favor. But why? Because you never handed down wisdom, knowledge, understanding, to show him why it was important to be there for you. You kept the generational curses going, not generational prosperity. Read on.
And grieve him not as long as he liveth.
Go ahead.
And if his understanding fail, have patience with him.
Right. This was telling the son, if your dad got in his old age and his understanding failed, have patience with him. Don't get on Facebook and punch him in the face and knock him out. There was a trend of that going on where there was these sons fighting their dads, and you see these little young dudes just beating their dads up. Why? The dads got a little drunk, started talking crap. He just whoop them right on camera. I seen that for like a month straight. I'm like, what is going on? Is this like a new fad?
Yes.
Like the beat up dad challenge. It says if his understanding fail, what?
Come and despise him not when thou art in a false lie.
If his understanding fail,
have patience with him.
Have what?
Patience with him.
What was going to teach the son patience? The father was going to teach his son patience. The mother was going to teach his son patience. Not beat the crap out of him because he didn't know 2 + 2. Not kick him out the house because he was 18 and it was time. Patience was instilled from an early age. All right, son, we're going to sit down and we're going to learn today. That's all I got to do, Noah. He's hyper as hell. He wants to just... He's looking at the damn schooling. He's like, what's that? What's that? What's that? I'm like, okay, son. Noah. He's like, I'm like, okay, focus. Look at this. Patience. This thing is building patience. Homeschooling ain't no joke. It ain't no joke because you got to have a lot of patience to do it. But the hope is that I show him patience so that now when it's time for him to give me patience, he don't be like, yeah, you a senile old man, screw you. Read on.
And despise him not when thou art in thy full strength.
Right, because when my son is in full strength, I'm weak. Right. My grown man strength is going to diminish. I don't want him mastering over me and beating me down or casting me away. Right, behind doors, nobody sees. Yeah, he just whooping me behind closed doors. I might as well be in Shady Grove's nursing home if he's going to whoop on me. Right? My old ass 70-year-old man, he what is he? 70? He's like in his 30s, just beating on me. You old punk. Bow. Bow, right?
I remember how you did me.
I remember how you used to do me. How you was impatient with me. You used to use and abuse me. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Hey, it was like the episode of what was that? Was that what's the albino cat? What show was that? Oh, that's on
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning. When they came back and beat up the stepfather. Oh,
Yeah.
they beat the actually they broke his spine, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Read verse 14.
Verse 14. For the revealing of thy father.
The relieving.
Oh, stop. For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten.
This is what we're supposed to teach our children. Son, when you relieve me in my old age, the Most High won't forget this. Read on.
And instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up.
Go ahead.
In the day of thine affliction, it shall be remembered.
Go ahead.
Thy sins also shall melt away.
What will happen?
Thy sins also shall melt away.
Go ahead.
As the ice in the fair warm weather.
This is what we were supposed to teach our sons, and our sons and our daughters. The mothers and the husbands were supposed to teach their sons and their daughters. But when do you teach them? When they turn 18? Like, let me tell you something, son, about these birds and the bees. This nigga's already 18 and done banged like 50 chicks already. You want to teach him about the birds and the bees?
You're late.
You're late.
God.
You want to teach him about sex, and he's coming to you to tell you that he got a chick pregnant and he's 12. He's coming to you to tell you that he got a chick pregnant, and you like, let me teach you about the birds and the bees. Nigga, he just learned the hard way. Proverbs 22 and verse 6, we got to start early as humanly possible. Some brothers in here got 5-month-old children. You better start speaking that word into their ear. You better let that audio Bible ring in their ear instead of you and your rib arguing in their ear.
God.
They should hear wisdom. They should hear, at least if there's going to be some type of disagreement in the house, they're supposed to hear wisdom at their young age, fix that disagreement. Not, no, nigga, you get out, I can't stand you. Well, F you too, smack, call the cops, 911, what's your emergency? The first thing they hear is sirens coming to the house. Come on, man, you got Esau out there, they teach their babies when they're in the damn womb. They putting speakers to the baby's belly, to the mother's belly. Mozart.
Right.
I need him to listen to Mozart.
Reading books.
Reading books to the baby when it's in the womb. She's sitting in her little rocking chair, rocking back and forth, and dad is just sitting there like, thus saith the Lord. Esau does it. How come we don't? You get your rib pregnant, you got niggas get their rib pregnant, kick her in the belly.
Damn. Push it downstairs.
Sorry. Why you say that? It's real. Push her down the stairs. But who feels all that? Who feels that? The baby. All that negative energy that you pump out there from the womb, our kids get it. So if you put positivity in the womb, the kids are going to get it, man. So guess what? It starts as early as human possible. Proverbs 22 and verse 6.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6.
Train
up a child in the way he should go.
Do what?
Train up a child in the way he should go.
Go ahead.
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Why do you think they're trying to teach our children to be faggots and lesbians at the age of 3? Why do you think they're doing it? Because they know if I grab this child's mind early, he's going to be a faggot for life. He ain't going to switch.
See, that's why they have this thing called gender identification. It's at a certain age. It's like when you're young, because their mind is malleable, they're learning, they're a sponge. Everything you throw to them, they suck it up. So they really don't know at that time what's right and what's wrong.
You got 2 boys, right?
Go on.
If you put them in a dress and give them little dolls and tell them that they're girls and make their hair grow long, guess what they'll think? They'll think that they're girls for their whole life.
Oh, it's real.
Y'all ever ask yourself, how does a kid know what the hell candy is at McDonald's at Christmas? Do kids be in the womb like, I can't wait for Santa Claus to come?
Right.
We teach them that. You teach them what McDonald's is. You know why? Because you get lazy as hell. We don't teach them, and we want to pacify our children. With what? This is what's going to happen, son, because you're acting wild. You acting out of order as hell. Let's give them a lollipop. No, Happy Meal, because it got a Happy Meal toy.
Oh, right.
Oh, you acting bad? Let's go let you play in the play place. Get you a Happy Meal. Smack you with all the germs and disease. So now every time the kid gets bad and acts out, he's expecting a Happy Meal or some toys and some damn candy.
And a cell phone right there in front of his face.
Or a cell phone. Oh man, I seen a video of a little baby. This baby was barely able to sit up. They took the phone from the baby. Baby wild out. Threw herself back. Went crazy like somebody was killing her. Bro, they handed her the phone and she instantly shut up. They took the phone from her and she went ballistic. How does this baby know what this device is? She wasn't in the womb like, nigga, I gotta get that new Note 9 in the womb. No, you figured out a way to pacify the baby instead of teaching the baby. We all have done it. Anybody here that got kids? I don't give a damn what you say. You have done it. You have found a way to pacify your children. Whether it be, oh, he's crying too much, let me shove a bottle down his throat. Or he's talking too much, let me shut him up and throw a sucker down his throat. Or let me give him this toy to keep him occupied. We never sat back and said, you know what? Let me just talk to my child.
Talk to that spirit.
Let me talk to him. Let me talk to my child the way I would talk to a man or a woman. I've never done the goo-goo, gaga, hoo-hoo-hoo with any of my children. With any four of my children, you never heard me doing the goo-goo, poo-poo, papa. I'm talking like, hey, what's going on? What you want? But then when you sit there and look at my 4-year-old son talk and formulate sentences, people are like, damn, how old is he? I'm like, he's 4. They're like, damn, I thought he was 8. He talks like he's 8. Why? Because I never did the goo-goo, papa, poo-poo. Oh, you so and the baby talk. I didn't want him to develop when he boo-boos and papas and goo-goos. Right. It's sad. You know what my son's first words were? I'm not proud to say this. My son's first words were Xbox. You know why? Because when I got the Xbox back in the day and you can talk to it, I'd be like, Xbox, go here. Xbox, go there. Because you can talk to the Xbox. It'll change the channel. It'll go to the game. It'll do this. He sat there and listened to me say Xbox 1,000 times a day. Damn. His first words weren't dad, mom. His first words were Xbox. Damn. I was like, what the hell did I just do?
And it registered his voice.
The Xbox would change to his voice.
Dang.
His first words were Xbox. He was 1 year old. He didn't know what the hell an Xbox was. But because he sat back and heard me say that to him or to the TV, and I would have him right next to me thinking like, yeah, I'm a great dad because I got my son next to me. We watching Netflix together. We Netflixing and chilling. Or he's sitting there watching me play video games. Every time he heard Xbox, he thought that was an actual word. So his first words was Xbox. I'm like, no, not Xbox. Dad, Xbox. Bro, I'm not proud of that, but it's a prime example of what you feed your children at an early age. Where we at?
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6.
Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 12. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 12. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 verse 12.
Read.
Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away.
And never what?
Never fadeth away.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her.
Come on.
And found of such as seek her.
Jump to verse 14.
Whoso seeketh her early.
Wait. Whoso seeketh her later?
Whoso seeketh her early.
Go ahead.
Shall have no great travail.
Travail. Don't y'all understand that the ones that seek wisdom early, they avoid problems? If you teach your sons and daughter wisdom early, guess what they'll do? They'll avoid all the turmoil. You know what they won't have? All the regrets that we have. How many think about your life and your lifestyle? How many regrets do you have? All the niggas you done slept with, all the chicks you done hit, the couple of the sexually transmitted diseases that you caught, right? All the arguing that you did, the fighting. Think about that. Think about the argument you got into with your parents and you didn't resolve it with wisdom, so now you and your parents don't talk. It's been 10 years. You don't know what's going on with your mom, dad. You gotta ask other people, hey, what's going on with my dad? Nigga, that's your dad, find out. But see, y'all got into an argument over like $5 10 years ago and you never resolved it. So now you got great travail. Let's make it big. Let's make it big. Our great travail is this slavery and these curses that we're in.
God.
We left off the wisdom early. Now we have great travail as a people. Read it one more time, verse 14.
Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail.
Shall have no great travail. You know what travail is? It's problems, it's anguish. He that seeketh her early, wisdom, to her is wisdom. Your travail will be little. So it's showing us, you train up a child early enough in wisdom, what's going to happen? He's going to avoid all the things you went through. What's our whole purpose? My whole goal is to teach my son and give him the example of things that I went through before he went through it.
God.
That's the whole purpose. Come here, son, let me sit you down. Let me teach you something. And not like, oh, you didn't change the oil in the car and the damn car engine exploded. Not that. That's easy stuff. Let me show you how to keep a woman and not have to run around and get 1,000 women and have 1,000 problems. Let me show you how to not have 1,000 baby mamas and don't deal with none of your kids and things like that. Let me show you how to deal with people. Let me show you how to use wisdom to get out of situations or to even prevent situations. That's what we're supposed. That's the level we're supposed to be on. Like some of us say, "Oh, I love my children. I take care of my kids." And why are you letting them go through the things that you go through? Why do you drag them through? Why do we drag our children through our faults, and then we get mad when they turn out a certain way? Well, they seen you go through all your filth, and they seen how you handled it, and it was wrong. So all they're gonna do is repeat what they see. All he does is repeat everything that he sees. He thinks he's a dad. Look at him right now, messing with the baby. He thinks that he's a Power Ranger. He thinks that he's an Israelite. He thinks that he's a preacher. He thinks that he's a babysitter. He thinks that he's anything that he sees. So what do I have to do? Filter and guide the things that he thinks is right. So I got to constantly show him through wisdom. No, son, you're not a Power Ranger. It's just a cartoon. You're not the Red Ranger. You're not the Pink Ranger. You're not all the Rangers in one. You're not the Rainbow Ranger. You got to show them these things. You have to, because what they intake, they're like, I want to be like that. So if they intake wisdom, if they intake, oh, well, David was this type of guy. Solomon was this type of guy. They're going to want to be like that. Why do you think your kids want to be damn white people? They want to be white Power Rangers, white superheroes. I want to be Batman. Well, yeah, because you dress them up every Halloween and you tell them that Batman is the guy. Or Spider-Man or Superman. Daredevil. You don't, how come you never tell them that Solomon, David, Yahweh Shai? How come we don't teach them about those great things? How come we don't teach them about a man that healed people by the touch? By the damn hem of his garment. He healed people.
Superman can't do that.
Superman ain't healing nothing. All he does is break things. Batman don't heal nobody. Batman ain't got no wisdom. Ecclesiastes 30 and verse 1. So, train up a child. What do we train them in? What do we train our children in? Superheroes and cartoons? Cartoon Network? Ren and Stimpy? It's wisdom, right?
God.
This is what we got to do. We got to get back to, we got to make sure that we're raised in wisdom, though. We got to make sure that we're at every instance taking in wisdom to be able to filter. It's a filtering process. I'm going to get the wisdom for myself, but for my family if I'm a man. So I can trickle it down to my wife, she trickle it down to the kids, and then everybody's supposed to be in one mind.
God.
If I'm a woman, I'm supposed to be out there getting the wisdom of the scriptures for myself also. Not just for my husband. I got to be studying because my husband ain't always around. We busy. If he's out teaching, then who you supposed to be teaching, wife? Them wee little ones, right? But guess what? That don't mean that because your husband ain't around, you're not gathering knowledge through the scriptures by yourself to show your children. The wisdom don't stop because your husband ain't around. I hope y'all know that. Because there's always someone there that needs to get wisdom from you. The wisdom don't stop, husbands, because there ain't nobody in front of you to teach. You got to always be teaching, always be attaining to wisdom. So we got to raise our children in the wisdom. Ecclesiastes 30:1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 1.
Well, it's really discipline. We got to discipline our children. That's what lacks. That's what lacks in the Black and Hispanic community. You know why? Because now they got it to where if you whoop on your child or if you talk to them a certain way, I'm calling the cops on you. You got 5-year-olds calling the cops on their parents because he beat me. Oh, he beat me he spanked me. I'm not talking about child abuse. I'm talking about a good old-fashioned flogging. Oh, I'm calling the cops on you because you beat me. I remember one time. Naomi, my daughter, my middle daughter, my second daughter, she had to have been in the first or second grade. I would go to school and pick her up every day. I used to live right around the corner from the school. I walked to the school. I pick her up. Teacher comes to me like, Naomi had a little problem in class today. She was talking too much. Told her. I said, okay, I'll talk to her. This is a Monday. I remember, this was a Monday. Tuesday. So I talked to her, Naomi, what's going on? And she has a talkative problem. She was very talkative. Naomi, what's going on? Well, I said, okay, Naomi, you can't talk in class because you're not going to be able to learn. So I had a conversation with her. Next day I go pick her up. Same bad report. I don't know what's going on with Naomi, but she's a little bit too talkative in class. I said, okay. Thought I cleared that up. In my mind, I'm like, I thought I cleared that up with her. Okay, let's go talk to her again. So the talking was a little bit more stern, right? Day 3, I go pick her up, and I'm like, not even thinking. The teacher comes like, Mr. Donaldson, right? And they come to you. And she was like, I don't know what's going on, but she just keeps talking in class. I was like, what? She got home. Okay, you're going to sit at this kitchen table, you're going to do your homework, and you're going to write out. I will not talk in class unless I raise my hand. I made her write that till she fell asleep at the kitchen table. She sat there from like 4 to 8 o'clock, like 4 hours writing. She had pages. And I'm like, that's going to get her. Wrong. So this is what I did. I prepared. And y'all can call me cruel if you want. So when you walk at my old house, when you walk through the door, the front door is right here. I have this fish tank right against the wall. So you open the door, you walk right out. So when you walk in, the fish tank is right here. I put a belt right on top. Left the belt there. I went and picked her up. Same exact report. She's talking in class. I said, okay, I'm going to get her. She thought it was all good. She thought she was going to sit at the table and write. I opened that door. I said, go ahead and go on in. As soon as she walked in, I grabbed that belt. She didn't even see it coming. Oh, yeah. It took 3 good ones. Right? So a couple of weeks passed. No report. Until one day the teacher came. She was like, we got to talk. Naomi, she messed up in class and she cried and she begged me not to tell you. She said because you were going to spank her. So she made it seem like she was just getting beat all the time. And so basically they got the guidance counselor, the principal, like, you can't be beating on her. I was like, screw you. You can't tell me how to raise my kid. Right? You can't tell me how to raise my child. What you want, a damn school shooter? And mind you, at that time I lived in Colorado, where they was just shooting schools all left and right. I was like, so what do y'all want? Y'all want a school shooter? So that way when she gets mad and disgruntled and shoots up a school because she has no discipline, you're going to blame it on me anyway. I'd rather discipline her now the way I'm going to discipline her to prevent all that. And they didn't bother me after that, but they try to make it like you can't discipline your children the way it needs to be done. I didn't just whoop her the first day.
They do it.
Or the second day, or the third day. I waited 4 days, 4 of the same report, 4 different methods. That butt whooping changed her whole lifestyle. You think I get a report that she be in class talking? Years later, she's 11 now. I'm not going to worry about that because that put her in check. Discipline. discipline. Watch, read. Ecclesiastes 30:1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 1.
Come on.
He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod.
Yeah, if you love your son and he's out of line, you don't just blow over what he's doing. It says he calls him off to what?
Feel the rod.
Come on.
That he may have joy of him in the end.
Right, because I didn't want in the end, she's going to turn out to be some damn little 12-year-old stripper. Or some 12-year-old school shooter. Or just some little class disruption. My kid is going to be the class clown? Hell nah. You're going to be the one listening, being diligent. Mind you, she got great grades. But she had that talking problem. I had to get that up out of her. Read on, verse 2.
He that chasteneth his son
Uh-huh.
shall have joy in him.
Read.
And shall rejoice of him among his acquaintances.
Right, because how many people don't chastise their children, and it's like, damn, my damn son's a drug dealer. I seen your kid on the 9 o'clock news. What's up? You get around all your little friends, and it's like, yeah, I seen little Malcolm. He got arrested today. What happened? You just shrink up, like, damn.
Yeah, listen, my nephew was like that, man. My nephew
Yeah.
was on the Houston News for robbing a bank, or no, robbing a store, looking right at the camera like, yeah, it's me.
But nobody, because why? He wasn't chastised.
His pops was in prison.
There it is, and moms couldn't handle him.
Mom's was just in the streets, man.
In them streets. Read on. Read it. Where we at?
Verse 3.
Jump to verse 13. No. Go to Proverbs 23 and verse 13. Slot. Proverbs 23 and verse 13.
Proverbs chapter
So you
23.
see that, right? Where the chastisement of your children, the physical punishment of your children is needed. I'm not saying that we beat our child in every instant. Just like the story I gave. It was a true story. I didn't lie. I didn't embellish or add. I took 4 instances before I picked up a belt. There was levels to the correction. Proverbs 23 and 13.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 13. Withhold not correction from thy child.
Go ahead.
For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die.
And this is what we got to understand. You beat your children, they ain't going to die. Listen, that was the first whooping I had given her. Man, it was a long time in between. Because why? From a very early age, when my kids were 6 months old, and kids ain't stupid. I don't care what anybody says. A child knows right from wrong when you start telling them yes and no. So they start doing something, you say, no, don't do that. And you pull them away. And they're going to keep doing it, but then you got to tap them a little bit. Tap them. 6 months old. They start walking, they start getting a tap. Slap on the butt. I don't care. You do it early. That way when they turn 2, 3 years old, they're not just damn little tyrants and demons. I didn't have to whoop no butt at 2. Noah's different though, because y'all know how that guy is. He still gets whoopings. He's a boy, he's hard-headed, he's a Virgo, he's all the things that you don't want. He's a hard-headed little boy, and he got to feel the rod often. I did. Oh, come on. I was hyperactive. I was hyperactive. I was underactive. I was everything active. But I had to get whooped into shape. It didn't kill me. Watch, read on.
Con, he shall not die.
Read.
Thou shalt beat him with the rod.
Why? Read.
And shall deliver his soul from hell.
Why do you think these children are in hell on earth right now? Nobody took the time to give them discipline and wisdom. Nobody took the time to say, you know what? You did wrong. Come over here. Drop them drawers, and I'm going to spank you. Bend over. Get that paddle.
I had to reach across the bed.
Across the bed and catch it.
I was catching 12.
And don't block. Right?
Knuckles getting jacked up.
Don't block it. Don't move your hands.
Wasn't no belt, it was a paddle. I went from what do you call it, the wooden spoon to the belt
to the paddle.
Paddle, man.
Yeah.
I was elevation.
Yeah.
With the holes in
levels. Come on, man. My grandma would go at her old but strong age.
Yeah.
She'd run up on that tree.
Her wrist game was.
Or whatever was. Listen. When I was growing up in Jamaica, I seen a person get beat with a machete.
Damn.
I seen in Jamaica they beat you with the flat side of the machete.
Dang.
The machete ain't just a gardening tool, that's a belt. They hold one hand, pop, 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 you get them licks. We used to be like, damn, you got beat with the flat side of the machete. We talk about that till this day, me and my we laugh about that because it's funny, but I mean, you do that wrong. You cutting off somebody's legs.
Yep.
You chopping off butt meat, right? But hey, whatever was in arm's reach, you caught that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of you Hispanics, mom throw the damn whole iron at you. The whole iron hit you upside the face. The pot, a shoe, you hit in the face with a chancla, right? Whatever was in distance, you caught it. Or you just get slapped in the damn mouth. Bah!
Yeah, you shoot extension cord.
Extension cord. Oh yeah. A hanger.
I got soap in my mouth at a point. I was cussing at school.
Yeah. But at least you got discipline. At least somebody was trying to deliver your soul from hell. How much more our children? They're in hell right now. As soon as you give them up to the public school system, they're in hell. So what do you got to do? You got to discipline out of them all the things they learn in school. And I ain't just talking about their education. I'm talking about the stuff they learn from the other little nigglets that don't know nothing. Because you think school is just them sitting in the classroom the whole 8 hours? When they got lunch, what are they learning? They learning about girls. They learning about cars. They learning about the devil. They learning about everything from all the little unlearned kids they sit next to. Oh, let's trade this lunch. What'd your mom pack you today? Well, I got a ham sandwich. Well, we can't trade. No, let's trade. I'll give you my gelatin snack, right?
My Jello.
I'll give you my Jello for your
my Go yogurt.
Right, and then all of a sudden they're eating pork. You see what I'm saying? Like how easy it is for your children to get defiled?
God.
I don't like what my mom made me today, so what you got? Well, she made me pastrami. Damn, that smells good. Let me get that.
BLT.
Yeah, she made me a BLT, and all I got is a damn quinoa, right? All I got is I got healthy food. Let's trade. Next thing you know, they eating pork. What'd you eat today? Ham sandwich. I ate pastrami. What? No, you weren't supposed to eat that, son. They learn from the children amongst them. So we got to constantly be delivering their soul from this hell. Proverbs 22 and verse 15. Why? Why do we got to constantly deliver them? Read.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 15.
Come on.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
Yeah, because foolishness is always in the children. Children always want to do foolish things. They always want to be playing around. It's always fun and games. They don't take things serious. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. So what does that mean? Us as adults and grown-ups with the wisdom, we can't be childish, man. We can't be childish when it comes to raising our children. We can't be childish when it comes to administering the wisdom. You can't get all kiddish and shy when your child comes to you and talk about sex. Or when they come to you talk about drugs or their mental issues. You can't shy away from it. Just take them to the Bible. Let the word speak. You ain't gotta come up, it's so easy. You ain't even gotta come up with the words. You just go to the Bible. You just figure out what they're dealing with. Oh, sex? Oh, let's deal with that. Marriage? Oh, yeah, you trying to get married? That's what you trying to say?
Right.
You trying to, wait. You're 12. You trying to marry somebody right now? Oh, you ain't trying to get married? Okay, well, let's see what the Bible says about sex. And you show them through the scriptures that what you think it is not. That way you don't have to come up with some out of the bounds, the birds and the damn bees. What the hell is that?
God.
The birds and the bees. Come on, man. America got to stop. Read.
But the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Yeah. Them butt whoopings will drive away that foolishness. It'll make him a man quick. Watch, read. Verse 3. Oh, no. Excuse me. Wow. I messed that up. The rod of correction will drive it from him. Go to 2 Timothy 3:16. Somebody else get Proverbs 29 and 15.
Second Timothy chapter 3, verse 16.
So what does that correction come in, though? Is it always a butt whooping? No. I'm not saying that every time your kid looks at you, you just got to whoop them. No. There's levels to the correction. We want to first at least discourse and conversate with our children. See what's on their mind before you just start whooping on them.
God.
2 Timothy 3:16.
All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And is profitable for doctrine.
For what?
For doctrine.
Something to believe in. Go ahead.
For reproof.
For what?
For reproof.
Read.
For correction.
Read.
for instruction in righteousness.
What are we supposed to be training our children up in?
In righteousness.
We're supposed to give them the instructions in righteousness. Proverbs 29 and verse 15.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 15.
Come on.
The rod and reproof give.
The butt whoopings coupled with the scriptures. I don't care if you whooping his butt and throwing scriptures at him. Thou shalt obey thy mother and thy father. Right? I don't care if you do it simultaneously, but you got to do both. It says the rod and reproof does what?
Give wisdom.
It does what?
Give wisdom.
Wait, no, it kills them.
Give wisdom.
Wait. It got to be child abuse.
Give wisdom.
Call CPS.
Give wisdom.
Read.
But a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame.
Right, because these children that get left alone, you throw the tablet in their face and they just go play Roblox 8 hours a day. And then you wonder why they turn into like computer game psychopaths. Antisocial social club. You wonder like, why is this dude so antisocial? And why he's like antisocial, wearing all black lipstick, and he's just gothic and emo. Right. Now he wants to shoot up a school. Damn, I wonder why that happened. Well, because you left him in his room for 8 hours one day with the damn Grand Theft Auto going, or with the Roblox going, or whatever thing you gave his spirit to. You did it one day, and then he was like, well, this is what it's going to be. I'm going to sit in my room. And as time went on, he grew into this damn room hermit crab that had no wisdom, no understanding, no balance. And then he linked up with a bunch of buddies just like him online. You thought he was in there building a computer for his education. He was on chats on how to build bombs and blow up buildings.
Suicide.
Right. Well, no, he didn't commit suicide yet, because he had to shoot the school up first. Right? He had to go rape the cat, put dogs in the microwave, all that foolishness that they see online. Why? He was left alone. Now you sitting in the house like, damn, what the hell did he do? Shot up a school. Right. The hell? Pregnant at 12? Wait. Drug? You got arrested for drug dealing? Right. Well, yeah, you never went into his room and took a whiff. You didn't smell the damn pounds that he had under the bed.
B.O. and pounds.
B.O., Axe, cologne, and pounds. That's what these little 12-year-olds smell like.
They be having it too, man.
They smell like weed and body odor. Like, where the hell's your parents at? Talking about, do you want to buy some drugs? Bro, if y'all see these little 12-year-old chicks in the mall talking about how many dudes they slept with.
Yeah, my body count.
They call it a body count. They got a terminology for it. 12 and 11. Talking about they got a body count. How many dudes done hit them? We see it every day. And then you got these little 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-olds talking about what chicks they trying to hit. I'm going to go get that snap so I can slide over and hit that. Chicks, 15 years old, damn sneaking out their house, stealing their parents' car, pregnant, smoking weed, doing drugs. Why? Because they were left alone to do whatever the hell they wanted. So they hopped on social media. They see now, well, it's cool to sneak out the house. Or it's cool to sneak somebody in the house. Think about how many parents got people in their house right now. They don't even know it. Little Billy from down the block is having a time with your daughter. They playing spin the bottle in the basement. And you ain't there to stop the bottle from spinning, man. Because why? You caught up in your own soap opera. I'm too tired from work, or I just don't give a damn. Because why? You didn't even want your kid. You didn't want him in the first place. She was a mistake. You ruined my life. I had you too early. What about me? What about my career, my dreams and aspirations? Or you got the ones that's like, well, damn, I'm going to live vicariously through you, so guess what? You want a drink? I'm going to go buy y'all some liquor. Get your friends over. I know you're only 12, but we can party together. We can be best friends. The hell is that? Then they try to justify it like, yeah, I make sure that she drinks around me. I know she's 12, but I don't want her to do it around anybody else to take advantage of her. Bruh, you're teaching her to get taken advantage of when you give her the liquor and tell her that it's okay to get drunk. She don't give a damn who she's around. All she knows is, let me get drunk. Let me get high.
God.
We got to wake up and see this. Wisdom prevents all these mishaps and miscalculations and royal F-ups. Wisdom of Solomon 6:17. Damn, ran out of time. E. It was so much more. Yeah, I know. No, that's all good. It's all good. I know it's gonna take. Where you at? Read.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 17. For the very true beginning of her.
Who is the her? The her is wisdom. Go ahead.
Is the desire of discipline.
See, you got a desire to give the discipline, and the kids got to. They should want a desire to be disciplined. You got to show them the value of discipline. Go ahead.
And the care of discipline is love.
It's what?
Is love.
It's what?
Is love.
So when you don't discipline, you hate your children. When you don't care to discipline them, whether it be, no son, don't do that. No daughter, don't do that. Because some of us is like, man, do what the hell you want. I'm tired of you. Do what you want, little nigga. Figure it out. When you don't care to discipline, that's hate. You hate your seed. We got to stop hating our children, man. We got to stop hating ourselves. It's a curse. Go to 2 Timothy 3:14. So we got to get disciplined through the wisdom, and we have to continue throughout the generations in the word. 2 Timothy 3:14. I'm going to take it a little bit over. Well, go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 14.
Read.
But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned.
Read.
And hast been assured of.
Come on.
Knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Right, because where does the assurity come from? Ask yourself, what is your child assured in right now? You know what they're assured in? That when they go press the button for the Xbox, it's going to come on, and they can sit there for 8 damn hours. They're assured that when they hop on that internet, Roblox, it's going to be there. They're going to just waste away. That's the only assurity some of our children have. The true assurity comes in when I have a problem, I'm able to go to my mom, my dad, and they're going to help me to fix it. That's real assurity. Not, oh, video games, clothing. And they have to understand who is the one that's supposed to be teaching them. Well, my dad, my mom. I look up to them. Not Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Robin, Kim Kardashian, the Jenners, whoever. Come on. We got to give our children true assurity. Where does it come from? Read on.
And that thou, and that from a child,
Read.
Thou hast known the Holy Scriptures.
They have known what?
The Holy Scriptures.
What were the words that we were supposed to teach our children?
The Holy Scriptures.
Come on.
Which are able to make thee wise.
Read.
Unto salvation.
Unto what?
Unto salvation.
This is what gets us out of slavery. This is what gets us out of bondage. It was supposed to do what?
Make thee wise unto salvation.
This was what took away our travail. Read.
Through faith.
Go ahead.
Which is in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Isaiah 54:13.
Isaiah chapter 54.
Go ahead. Isaiah 54:13. Go ahead.
Verse 13. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord.
This is what was supposed to happen. But see, the way this wicked ass world got us, man, some of our children are being taught, some is getting left behind. It's sad. Because you got broken homes, you got broken families. But it said what?
And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord.
Go ahead.
And great shall be the peace of thy children.
They're what?
And great shall be the peace of thy children.
Yeah, see, the wisdom was supposed to teach our children how to get peace of mind. Why do you think you got so many children at a younger and younger age talking about I'm depressed, I'm bipolar, I'm down and out, I got schizophrenism? The biggest one, what are they trying to give our kids? ADD and ADHD. They want to diagnose every black and Hispanic kid with those two diseases. Then they want to pump them up with drugs and hormones. Kill them with injections. But it said, we should be taught of the Lord, and great should be thy peace. Didn't it say give them a video game and some damn suckers? Take them to McDonald's and let them play in the play place and the balls that got the dirty diapers and vomit? Read on.
Verse 14.
In
righteousness shalt thou be established.
In video games.
In righteousness shalt thou be established.
Come on.
Thou shalt be far from
Thou
oppression.
shalt be what?
Far from oppression.
This is what's supposed to take us away from that oppressed mind. That oppressed state that our whole nation is in. But we got to start from a child. Read.
For thou shalt not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near thee.
Read Wisdom of Solomon 6:24. You got our children fearful as hell of our oppressor.
God.
Fearful as hell when they get around Esau. Fearful as hell when they see cops. Why? Because you didn't teach them anything about being bold and standing strong in wisdom. So now they scaredy cats. Oh, I didn't do nothing. Just looking guilty. Getting shot in the streets, man. We were supposed to teach our kids all these and run them through all these scenarios and all these different things that they were going to come up against in this world. I hope y'all are listening, man, you parents and you soon-to-be parents. Wisdom of Solomon 6:24, Ecclesiasticus 6:14. Ecclesiasticus 16:4. Wow.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 24.
Go ahead.
But the multitude of the wise is welfare of the world.
But read it again.
But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world.
See, in the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. Why you think the world is in the crapper? Why you think the world it's like a big armpit? The world is like a big jockstrap. It stinks, it's dirty, it's filthy, and nobody wants to wear it. Well, nobody that got righteousness at least. Nobody that got the wisdom. It says the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. So what does that mean? I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. We're supposed to teach them so that the welfare of the world would be better. Read on.
And a wise king is the upholding of the people.
Right. We're supposed to teach our children to be wise kings and queens so they can uphold the standard, so they can uphold their nation. Why do you think we are where we are now? Where was the wise king? We read in our Sabbath class, what was the wise king supposed to do? When he sat on his throne, he was supposed to write the law out and meditate and read it daily. What happened when he started going off? He stopped going into that law. He became unwise. The people would fall. Ecclesiasticus 16 and verse 4.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 16 verse 4.
For
by one that had understanding shall the city be replenished.
It just takes one. It takes one little child with understanding to replenish our nation. How much more 1,000 little children with the wisdom? Think about it. Think about it. This brother got twins. This brother got twin boys. One of these boys, it takes one boy with righteousness to replenish the kingdom. Imagine if both his boys grew up in the wisdom and became powerful and strong in the word, in the spirit. Powerful teachers. Imagine how much that can do for the people, for the nation. Read on.
God, but the kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate.
This is why our children are famished. This is why our children are getting shot in the streets. Because we didn't teach them wisdom. We taught them the wickedness of this world, thinking that it was wisdom. We gave them over to our enemies at an early age, and they indoctrinated them and inbred them to what they wanted them to be, not what we should have had them be. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 10.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 10.
So what happens when we don't teach our children? This is what happens. Read.
But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imagination.
And that's that desolation. Go ahead.
Which have neglected the righteous.
They have done what?
Neglected the righteous.
Read.
And forsaken the Lord.
That's what happens when you teach your children. They neglect the righteous. And they forsake the Most High. Read.
For whoso despises wisdom and nurture.
Why would a child despise nurture? Because he don't understand the importance of nurture. It wasn't instilled in him that you got to be taught. And you got to keep being taught. And then you got to hand that nurture down. A lot of it is our fault. Because we let our children become grown at an early age. They can become too grown. We let them be, oh yeah, he's independent. He's independent in what? He could barely read, but he could operate a phone better than Samsung itself. He can barely read, but he can whiz through damn downloading games and apps better than a tech junkie. So where was the despising of nurture? That's on our part. We despised and we forgot to nurture our children. We got to get back to that. Go ahead.
He is miserable.
What?
Miserable.
Our children will be miserable. Ask yourself, why are we miserable as adults? Nobody gave us wisdom and nurture. Go ahead.
And their hope is vain.
What did you hope in before you got the wisdom? Would you hope to be a football star? What'd you hope? I'm going to be an astronaut.
Champion of the world.
You're going to be a heavyweight wrestler? What? What was your hope? I'm gonna be the next Cardi B. She wasn't. Some of y'all be hoping that. Nobody in here, no sisters in here hope that. But what was your hope before the wisdom and the nurture? Read on.
Their labors unfruitful.
And then you wonder, like, damn, I've been working so hard throughout my life. How come I don't amount to anything? Because you was hustling backwards. Read.
And their works unprofitable.
No profit for your works. Read verse 12.
Their wives are foolish.
And this is a cycle. Your wife is foolish. Your kids' wives are going to be foolish. Their kids' wives are going to be foolish. Read.
And their children wicked.
And their children wicked as hell. Because you were wicked. You handed down the wickedness. They hand down the wickedness. Ecclesiastes 16 and verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 16 verse 1. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children.
Right. How do you desire that when you don't teach them? You say, I want unprofitable children when you don't teach them the words of the Most High when you rise up, lay down, and walk us by the way. When all you can tell your children about is how much points Michael Jordan scored in 1991 Game 3, you got a damn problem. When all you can say is, here, son, I got these old rusty-ass basketball shoes from '85 that Bill Cartwright signed, right? That's all you got for your son? Is some damn old-ass basketball shoes? Or a car that don't work? Or a house that's broken up? The damn foundation is cracked? I'm going to hand it down to my son. Maybe he'll fix it up. Well, little Johnny don't know a damn thing about carpentry. He don't know anything about finances because he's broke. He's a weed head. He get a paycheck and spend it all on ganja. Can't feed himself. So how the hell is he going to fix the house? You got all the hope in the world that when you give him something good, then you get mad. You got the nerve to be mad. When he let the house go, or when he let the business fall. Or when he don't take it, when he's 40 years old and he's still asking you to feed and clothe him. You mad as hell. How? You didn't teach him nothing. You didn't teach him how to fish. You just kept giving him the fish. Barely. Kept giving him the pork.
God.
Read on.
Neither delight in ungodly sons.
Yeah, a lot of these women out here, man, they delight in these, like my son's a football player. My son's a murderer. See, my son pays my bills. He got my teeth fixed. He got a bag and got my teeth fixed. How did he get that bag? What is he, slanging dope? What was he doing, stripping? Out here pimping women, and you talking about he got my teeth fixed and got me a core. He became your meal ticket, the ungodly meal ticket. At what cost? Read.
Though they multiply.
Though they multiply, you keep popping these little nigglets out. It's like as soon as some water touch you, you got another little gremlin. As soon as a man look at you, you pregnant. Another little niglet. Another little ungodly child. Come on.
Rejoice not in them.
You ain't supposed to rejoice. We're not supposed to rejoice in that. But you would know that if you had the wisdom. We would know that if we had the wisdom from our youth. Go ahead.
Except the fear of the Lord be with them.
You see that? Read on.
Trust not thou.
Trust not thou.
Trust not thou in their life.
You know why? Because you'll have 5 sons and you ain't got no wisdom. One will be a faggot. The other one will be bisexual. The other one will be a killer. The other one will be a drug dealer. And the other one will be in jail. You can't trust in that life. Because ain't no faggots bringing forth children. Ain't no dude in jail bringing forth children. Drug dealers bring forth children. They bring forth more monsters. Drug addicts, they bring forth crack babies. So how can you trust in that? How can you trust in that? Like, oh, that's your generations? You can't trust in that. Read.
Neither respect their multitude.
Come on.
For one that is just
it's better to have one just child, read,
is better than 8,000.
Come on.
And better is it to die without children.
Yeah, you might as well have no children. We were better off if we weren't going to teach our children. We were better off just dying in the wilderness if we weren't going to teach them. Because all we did was teach them how to die. You might as well not even took the time and effort it took to create them. You should have saved that for something else. Like gathering your manna. Gathering some sticks before the Sabbath. That's what we should have did. Should have wasted the time creating them if they were going to be ungodly. Watch, read.
Than to have them that are ungodly.
Ecclesiastes 30 and verse 7.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 7.
Come on.
He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds.
Yeah, because you got those parents out there that they don't teach their child a damn thing. But they'll swear up and down like, my son is the greatest. And then what happens? You catch him on the news. Rapist, murderer, killer. Or you get the report, yeah, he's bad as hell in school. You got to bind those wounds up. Go ahead.
And his bowels will be troubled at every cry.
Yeah. You talking about how great he is, but every 5 minutes the principal's calling you. You got to leave work. You got to miss work. Now every time you get a phone call from the school, your damn stomach start hurting. You're like, damn, you're just nervous. You just get anxiety. Every time the phone rings, it's like, damn, what did little Johnny do this time? You get the reverse 911 call, it's the precinct calling you. You're like, damn, man. You're just nervous, pooping yourself, trying to go down to the precinct to bail him out. Because why? You made so much of your son, but in what? Because he was book smart? Because he knew how to catch a ball? Oh, because he could sing and dance and put on the penny loafers and dance like Michael Jackson. He was supposed to be built in wisdom. Read on.
And horse, not broken, becometh headstrong.
Right, a horse not broken. How do we break our children today? We give them correction. The rod and reproof bringeth wisdom. When you don't teach your children nothing, they become headstrong. Like, no, I got it. No, I can do it. You ain't got to show me nothing. I'm independent. We got to always be there every step of the way. We got to remember that. They can never not be shown anything. This dude's always getting correct. I don't give a damn what he can do by himself. And he wants to do things by himself, but I got to still be behind him to show him, no, bro. You didn't wipe your butt right. Yeah, I did. Watch this. No, you didn't. Look at that. All over the napkin. Right? He's like, oh, I didn't know. Like, yeah, you thought you knew. You thought you was on point, but I'm going to show you that you're not. Read on.
And a child left to himself will be willful.
We be what?
Willful.
Yeah, you leave these kids to themselves. Willful meaning I'm going to do what I will. What do they teach our children? Do what thou wilt. So now he's willful in what? Righteousness? He's like, oh man, I got to go pick up my Bible. Hell nah, he's like, nigga, I'm trying to figure out what they talking about on Roblox. I'm trying to figure out what they talking about on Caillou. I need to figure out what these Power Rangers is doing. Jungle Force, Mega Force, Space Force. They got all types of Power Rangers that your kids can get into. Now he's just confused. Because they're teaching your kids that they can be animals. And that they can go to space. And that they transform into damn robots. You got to look at the subliminal messages that these innocent shows and cartoons teach the children. I have to block my son from YouTube and damn Netflix. I'm like, nah, bro. If you're going to go on YouTube, you're going to deal with something that's at least teaching you your alphabet. At least master your alphabet and numbers first. Before you just think you can just transform into a damn bear. Talking about power up and then you just turn into an eagle. No. Learn how to spell eagle. Don't be willful, because they become willful not in the right thing. They become willful in what they think is right if they're left alone. Think about when you were left alone. When mama was working 2 jobs, daddy wasn't home. What did you do? How many niggas did you have at the crib? having sex with you, getting you high. If you were a boy, how many of the homeboys you had at the crib, you was sitting there getting high with, drunk with, talking about what chick can you get over to hit and run a train on. It wasn't nothing, y'all didn't get together like, let's get in the book, dog.
Let's see how to relieve the black man's oppression.
Right, you weren't 12 years old like, let me read them scriptures. Thou shalt not murder. You were like, man, what chick can I get over? Hit that, split that, and quit that. Did I say it in the right order?
I don't even know the order.
Oh, that's the order. Hit that, split that, quit that. That's what you were thinking about. You weren't willful in righteousness. You were willfully ignorant. So how about your children? And their children, and their children, if we don't teach them? Read on.
Conquer thy child.
Conquer thy child. Read.
And he shall make thee afraid.
Conquer, meaning if you play around with him, guess what's going to happen? When you get older, he's going to be whooping on you. If you don't discipline him early, he's going to think it's a game. You conquer, you play around, play games. You don't be grave. He's going to think it's a game. Read on.
Play with him. And he will bring thee to heaviness.
Yeah, because he's not going to take anything serious. There's always going to be some heaviness around. He's always going to think it's a game. He always going to think something sweet. You're not going to be able to get discipline and wisdom through to him. Read on.
Laugh not with him. Lest thou have sorrow with him.
Now, is it saying that you're not supposed to have fun with your children? Of course not. But when it's always fun time and there's no discipline, you're going to be sorrowful right along with him. Go ask Mike Brown's mama. Go ask Tamar Rice's mama. Go ask Trayvon Martin's mama and daddy. Are they not sorrowful right now because they didn't instill wisdom and discipline into their child? Guess what? They'll say they did. Yeah, we disciplined him. We gave him a spanking here and there. We talked to him. What'd you talk to him about? And how often? Why the hell was a 12-year-old walking to the store in the middle of the night talking about, let me get some Skittles and a Sprite? His 12-year-old little butt should have been at home eating dinner. In the house.
Right, having the hood on.
Not with no hood on, walking through the rain. What, man, why? And if he wanted to go to the store, somebody should have been there to take him. But see, where's the wisdom? I'm going to let my child go out at 12, middle of the night, walk in the neighborhood, knowing what kind of world we in. Right. Then you got the nerve to be mad? I'm not saying they deserved it.
But he was at the wrong place at the right time.
But him was in the wrong place at the right time.
For him.
Read on.
And lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end.
And this is what we got to understand, man. Go to Proverbs 17 and verse 25. Get Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse 23. 3 more scriptures and we out of here.
17 what?
Wisdom of Solomon, Proverbs 17:25.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 25.
Right, and there are Hebrew cartoons on YouTube. I just got put onto them. There are Hebrew cartoons. That's what I make him watch. He hates it because he's so used to his damn Power Rangers. He's like, I was watching that, so I don't care what you was watching. You don't pay a bill in here.
Ooh.
This is my remote. So I make him sit down and watch. If he wants to watch YouTube or Netflix, he gonna watch something educational at least.
Never.
Right. Read.
A foolish son is a grief to his father.
Why would a son be foolish? Because guess what? His daddy never taught him. His daddy never taught him, man. Read on.
And bitterness to her that bare him.
Why? Because he was never taught as a child. When you get older, help your mom, help your dad. You got these 40, 50-year-old little children still relying on grandma and grandpa to pay their bills. You're supposed to be paying their bills. You're supposed to be helping them out.
You asking me for gas, man. You
Right.
older than me.
You older than me.
And you stay at home.
You're supposed to be making me lunch and cooking me, bringing me dinner. Like these old-ass college students talking about I gotta go home and do laundry. Come on, man. This is supposed to be the opposite way around, the other way around. Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 23. Let's get up out of here.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23.
This is what we got to understand. And this is just closing it out. We got to understand what wisdom in raising our children does and how it should have been from the beginning. Read.
For the Most High created man to be immortal.
He created us to be immortal through the attaining of wisdom. The immortality came through us handing wisdom and knowledge and understanding from generation to generation. That's what made us immortal. That's what made our people immortal. That's what built the strength. Go ahead.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
Go ahead.
And they that hold of his side do find it.
That's why our children find so much death and destruction around them. Because of Satan. They look at all the things that the devil puts in front of their face and they want that. They look at all of that, man. They look at all the video games. They look at all the toys. Think about it, man. You listen to, I remember Snoop Dogg's first album. They had all the little kids in the classroom. And they were like, what do you want to be today? He was like, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a police officer. And what the other little kid said, he said, I want to be a mother effing hustler. You better ask somebody. Little kids, but think about that. That mentality still reigns true today. You ask all the little kids what you want to be. I want to be LeBron James. I want to be Steph Curry. I want to be this person. I want to be this athlete. I want to be The Weeknd. The only thing our kids know is The Weeknd and video games. How to make them swallow, who to hit what, and how to snort cocaine off a chick's back. How to hit cocaine off of butt cheeks. That's all our kids know. How to roll blunts with no hands.
Right, how that work?
And butterfly. I don't know how it works, but it works somehow because they do it. They know how to roll helicopter blunts and how to roll a blunt as long as the damn Mississippi River, but don't even know how to spell Mississippi.
Damn.
M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
Crooked eye.
Crooked eye, right? Can't even spell Mississippi. Don't even know their own damn address. Could barely spell their names, but they know how to roll blunts and talk about hitting chicks.
Like Birdman is illiterate.
Illiterate as hell. You like Mayweather. You just can't read. That's why we so damn immortal. That's why we so mortal. You illiterate as hell. Read on.
That's the end of it. All right, you want chapter 3?
Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 12.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 12.
Come on.
Seek not death in the era of your life.
How do we prevent death? We prevent death through wisdom. Read.
And pull not upon thyself destruction with the works of your hands.
Do what?
And pull not upon yourselves destruction with the works of your hands.
Right. We got to stop destroying ourselves through our children. We got to stop feeding our children death in this wicked wisdom. Read on.
For the Most High had not made death.
He did what?
For the Most High had not made death.
Come on.
Neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living.
Read.
For he created all things that they might have their being. And the generations of the world were healthful.
The generations were what?
Were healthful.
They were what?
Healthful.
But why are our children famished in the streets? Why are our children dying in the lack of bread? The scripture said there'll be a famine in the world, but not of bread and water, but of wisdom. So why are our children dying in the streets? Why is the black Hispanic family broken? Why is it damn near non-existent? Why is the world not joyous but grievous? It's because we're not doing our part. We got to get better at doing our part as parents, as the torch bearers, as the light bearers of this world, the ones that bear the wisdom. And I'm talking to brothers out online, in this building, even them out here. We can't have the wisdom and not feed it to our children. You got all the Bible verses, but all they know is about all the superheroes. They could break down the origins of Batman, Robin, Superman. They could break down all that. When you ask them, show me where Christ is in the Bible. What color was he? And they're like, nigga, Bible, what's that? You don't talk about that in the house. I don't know what the Bible is. They don't even know how to pray. We got to stop giving our children the things that cause them to error. We got to stop killing our children. What you think? Because you give your kids a damn vegan diet, that's life?
Right.
Well, you know, I took away all the sweets. I don't feed him any carbs. I make sure I check all his calories. Nah. What about the wisdom that he intakes? Read on.
And there is no poison of destruction in them.
Right. The wisdom was supposed to block the poison from this world. Every time, remember, for those of you that send your children to school or send them to daycare, and they got nothing to do with this Bible, every time you send your child, they're being poisoned. I want y'all to know that. Every time your child leaves the covering of your wisdom via the scriptures, their mind is being infiltrated and poisoned. Every time you don't apply wisdom in front of your child, they're being poisoned. Every time you don't apply knowledge or feed your children knowledge, they're being poisoned through you. They're being destroyed through you. Read.
Nor the kingdom of death upon the earth.
Read.
For righteousness is immortal.
It's what?
Is immortal.
It's what?
Is immortal.
Read it from the top.
For righteousness is immortal.
Are there any questions on the topic? Mathanaya.
When you said that what made us immortal generation to generation, you said because we obtained the wisdom?
Because we use wisdom.
Okay.
We use the wisdom. That's what makes us immortal. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. Any other questions? Any questions online on the topic? There is? La. I know I went a little bit over, but I want to get all this out. Appreciate everybody for sticking in. I know we had some issues with the channel going down. We want to thank everybody. Just a quick reminder, we do have the Feast of Tabernacles coming up on September the 8th. Feast of Tabernacles on Feast of Trumpets. Wow. It was Tabernacles. Yeah, the Feast of the Blowing of the Trumps is on September the 8th. All right, we're going to announce it a few times. If you're in Houston or if you're around Houston and you want to come, it's a 7-day feast. If you're around, try to make one of those days, man. Hit us up. You can hit me up at 303-557-8979. You can hit up Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. You can email us at isbhpk@isbhpk.org. All right, we do want to thank everybody for joining us. If we didn't get to your question online, we apologize. We will get to it on Friday. You know, we don't run from questions. We want to answer your questions, but we also want to make sure we're balanced and bringing out the classes. All right?
Good.
If there's no questions online, if there's nothing in there on the chat, go ahead and let's salute them out.
Shalom.
Amadum, Wapanya, Yerushalayim. Like lash out? I do. I mean,
You going through the well when you get a refugee?
This is what I asked you when I dropped
oh, they're talking about you?
Yes.
I don't know what I was talking about you, son. You're somebody to talk about.
Let's give him something to talk about.
Watch out, be careful.
That long hair.
Long hair don't carry.
Long hair don't kill.
I got braided up and when the down move.